Hi, it's Karen Gilbert from Simply Said with Karen, and I have a project for you today, and it's using a brand new product that was in the annual catalog. And if you missed it, it's called Soft Pastels Assortment. And it comes in this little box, which you can slip right inside the cardboard like this, so it's protected. It comes in a stick. Now the sticks are housed in a foam so they won't get broken, and even if they do, you can still use. The pastels are on page 126 of the new catalog, and they have an N in a pink box so you know that they are new. Now they come in 8 shades, which are, this is called Night of Navy, but it's probably closer to Pacific Point, although it's got some brown pigment in it. And this is Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Mossy Meadow, Gorgeous Grape, Poppy Parade, Melon Mango, and Daffodil Delight. So I'm just going to show you a few techniques that you can use with this group of colors. And I'm going to start off with the thanks from the Ornate Thanks, because I want to show you what I can do with this short sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that in Versamark. The Versamark will help the chalks stick to the stamp. I'll just stamp it down here. Now you can't see it, but you're going to be able to see it once I get chalks going. So I'm going to use a Q-tip because this is not very dark, as you can well tell. And I'm going to start off with the Melon Mango. So I'm using a Q-tip because the letters on here are quite small, and I don't want to, actually what I'm going to do is just pick up the end of it and have some color on my scrap sheet here, and then you can just pick up the color and start going here. So you can see the letters come through. So I'll go on to the next one. And because it's Versamark, it helps to make the chalk or the pastels stick to the ink. Now you can make these as light as you want or as dark as you want. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the Poppy Parade. Use the other end so I don't mix my colors. I'll probably have to go back over once I can see the letters and show you how it looks finished. This works out really great because there's 6 letters and thanks, so I can do 2 of each color. Now the third color I'm using is Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to get another Q-tip. Now I suggest that you have some wipes handy because this can be messy and you don't want the colors to stick to place that you don't want them. Here. You could always use an eraser to remove the pastels from areas that you don't want them on. So this is, and any eraser will do. And if you want a smudgy look, you can just use your fingers to get that look. There, that's that. So the next thing I want to show you is how you can use this on embossing when you've embossed a sheet. So this is basic white, and I've embossed it using one of the new smaller embossing folders. This is the thanks and hello. So they actually have the words. This one is thanks. No, this one is hello. And this one is the thanks, and this is what I use so that it'll go with the sentiment. So what you can do is just take your chalks and on the side, just gently put them on to your paper. Now I forgot to put some Versamark on it, so this is what it looks like without Versamark, so you can see. Now don't scrub too hard because you don't want it to go into the chalks to go into the background. So you can use the flat side or you can use the edge. So then I'm going to use the Poppy Parade and using the same method. Just apply it until it gets as dark as you want. Now here I come with the Mossy Meadow. Now you can also edge your paper. These are really soft. They're not chalks, and the pigment goes all the way through it, so you'll get a nice use of the pastels. Now use this one on this edge. Now you can also rip your paper and use the chalks on the edge of your rips. That would give it some dimension. You can also mix the colors to get different colors. I think blue and yellow make green, and I'm not sure of the rest of them, but you can experiment with that. I guess I could try it here. So that's your Poppy Parade. And then your yellow. So that kind of looks like a sunset. And just use your fingers to fluff it around. Okay, so what about some Coastal Cabana? And I'll use the Poppy Parade. That's bordering on brown. So even though you've got 8 colors, by mixing them, and that's where a color wheel would come in, you can get different colors on your projects. So we'll just put that aside as well for now. Now I want to stamp, and I'm going to use the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, and I'm going to stamp them with Versamark first, and then we'll come and so we'll put them down here. Now I'm going to use blending brushes when I get these so just put your blending brushes and swirl them around to get the coverage on the dragonflies. Sorry, I was out of screen. So I've used Daffodil Delight on the dragonflies. Now I'm going to use, dragonflies are kind of bright and cheerful, so I'm going to use some Coastal Cabana. I left the stamp in on the Stamparatus because I want to show you what else you could do to finish these off. Because I already had Daffodil Delight on my, no, it's Mango Melody I had on my paper. When I picked it up, it wasn't quite clean, and when I mixed it with the blue, it came out kind of green, but that's okay. So just keep smudging around till it gets to where you want it to be. Because I just used the blending brush over the whole area of the dragonflies, then it's hard to see the definition of the lines. So I'm going to use StazOn to stamp over top of them, and that's why I didn't want you to move your stamps. Really not a good idea to have them on top of that box. Okay, so we'll see what we get. There. So now you can really see the outline and the design in the wings. So that adds some interest. I'll just stamp it over again. So I'll just set the papers aside now, and we'll go on to the next step. Let it dry somewhat. So I'm going to use the dandelion from the Garden Wishes, this one here. And because this stamp has a lot of detail in it, I'm also going to do the same technique that I did using the dragonflies. You may wonder why I have this washi tape on my graph paper. It's so that I can see exactly where I need to put my paper. If it gets moved, like sometimes it does with the photopolymer stamps, they seem sometimes to stick to the paper and cause the paper to move. And because these are red rubber stamps, you don't need that extra padding. So this time I'm going to use the stays on first. Try and get a nice sharp image. And that's the one thing about this, the Stamparatus. If you need to, you can stamp it again, providing, of course, your paper hasn't moved. There, so just leave the stamp on there for now, because we might have to go back in and use the stays on again. So let's take our, I'm getting kind of messy here. I'm going to do Mossy Meadow on the leaves, so I can use the same Q-tips as I used before. And of course you can go back and forth over this as many times as you like, depending on how dark you want it. The other thing, if you have really tiny areas like the stem, can use a toothpick with a little bit of the cotton wrapped around it. I'm going to do this very lightly because I never learned how to color but in the lines. Gives a little bit of color, but it's not looking too gross. Okay, I'm going to use the Mango Melody. And we'll just put more. You have control with the Q-tips. I've tried using other things, and if you can use makeup brushes, ones that you use to put your eyeshadow on. You want something that you can control. And of course, your fingers. Fingers always are good for just about anything. So I'm just going to put a bit of this combination in the middle. Okay, so that's the Poppy Parade mixed with the Coastal Cabana. And actually it looks pretty good. Okay, so I am going to stamp, although I don't think I need to. But now I need to cut it out with the die cuts, and I'll be right back with those. Instead of bringing my cut and emboss, I'll just take it to it. I used the Dandy Wishes dies to die cut the dandelion. Who had ever thought we'd use dandelions, which are considered a weed in some parts of the world? And we use them on our cards. Okay, so I'm going to show you putting this card together, how it's going to look. I used Mossy Meadow, and this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Sorry, 5.5 by 8.5, and scored at 4 1/4. So then use your bone folder to get the crisp. This is Daffodil Delight. And the Daffodil Delight is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it fits really nicely on here with a bit of a border. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal on that. How's everybody liking this Stampin' Seal? I can't even turn it over because I've used the other side as well when I was playing. So, okay, so here we go. Get all my pieces back here in order. I always have so much trouble getting all this lined up. Okay, so then we're going to put our embossed panel on the Poppy Parade. And again, we're going to use some Stampin' Seal. And then just put it onto the card base. There. So then the dandelion can just be popped up on some dimensionals. And I'm going to just put it over here to the left because I want to get my dragonflies in there. Now this is a builder punch, it's called. And it also comes with a small dragonfly that you can punch out and use on your cards as well. We'll cut out the second one. There. Again, we'll pop these up with our, and I'm just going to kind of zigzag them. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that by clicking subscribe just below the video. And I will also give you the measurements in the description, plus my website is www.simplysaidwithkaren.com. You can go there and see the various posts and projects that I have on there. There's other information as well. And finally, if you haven't done so, you can sign up for my monthly email, which is a newsletter that comes out every month on the first Tuesday of the month, and I really try to be diligent to get it out then. I also send out smaller emails during the month to give you any information that's might be of use to you. And I also, you have a free gift coming when you sign up. It's a free tutorial for 2 cards. Tutorial is in a PDF. So when you go to my blog, www.simplysaidwithkaren.com, you will find the sign up box in the top right hand corner, and you can sign up there, and your free gift will be delivered, plus you get 6 informational sheets, 1 email a week for 6 weeks, and it will provide you with some details on how to design your cards. And last but not least, there will be last monthly email that will be delivered to your inbox as well. I'm looking for the card that I did based on this layout, but you know, that's sometimes easier said than done. But I will have them both on my website. If you like this video, oh, I know what I forgot. We're gonna put some, no, ladybugs, that's what they were. I have to find them. There they are. Okay, so last but not least is the ladybug to put on here. I'm going to use a glue dot to put it on there. Do it there. So, and last but not least, I thought I was finished, but I hadn't put the sentiment on it. I'm going to just cut this and a bit of the Mossy Meadow twine, and this is still available in the spring mini catalog, the January to June. Right now they're having their clear out, so they're last chance items. So if you're interested in this, then please go and pick it up. Hold it here like this and put it up here. I need a bit of two-way tape to hold it. You know, you just keep crafting away and then you forget to clean up and then you can't find anything. Amazing. So I'm just going to put a couple of glue dots to hold it, and another. I don't want to hide our ladybug, so we'll just, actually I'm just going to take that off for a minute. Sometimes you just need to do things. Okay, dimensionals onto the back of the sentiment. Was hoping I could use the, there's a stamp here with, in the set, that's got a bunch of little dragonflies on it, but I didn't get to use it. So we'll just put that right in there. And then we'll just move our little ladybug. There, I hope you enjoyed this video and this technique using the soft pastels, and they are in the catalog. And if you wish to order them, and if you live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And again, all that is on my website. Supplies that I use will be on the bottom, plus links to my online store, my blog, and a place where you can subscribe to my newsletter. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye for now.